Thanking you all for joining us this evening via Zoom, which I know is a little strange. And in normal circumstances, parents and students would have the opportunity to walk the school, chat to our students and staff, and importantly, see for yourself what makes St. Aidan's Catholic Academy such a wonderful place for your child to learn and grow. I'm truly disappointed and saddened tonight that we can't meet you all in person, but delighted so many of you could join us here tonight, again via Zoom. There will be an opportunity for any questions to be answered at the end, so please, as we go, type those into the chat. As a parent of primary age boys, I understand the difficulty that many parents face in choosing the right school for their child, especially in these uncertain and unprecedented times. And that is why I'm pleased we have this opportunity to come together as a community this evening. As a Catholic school, we are proud to worship and follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. And therefore, I ask you all to join with me as we say our community prayer, a prayer written by our very own students. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. St. Aidan, bright flame of our school, help us to trust one another and bring fairness to our community. Let us strive to work hard to ensure we can live life to the full. Let there be peace in our school, and let it begin with me. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our school has a rich history of success, and like all Catholic schools, we provide a nurturing, caring, and loving environment where spirituality, Catholic ethos, and faith permeate everything that we do. If you were to visit St. Aidan's, I'm confident as you walked around our school, you would feel our Catholic ethos in the air, the way we talk to one another, the way we support each other, and the way we are driven to succeed in our mission to enable every single child, each individual child, to celebrate their life to the full. As a smaller school, we have time to get to know each individual child personally, to love, nurture, and support each child to develop their God-given talents fully. Our building may be older than some neighbouring schools, but it's what happens inside that truly matters. And as a parent, it concerns me that in some schools where year groups are over 250, how can the needs of each individual child possibly be met? In 2018 and 19, we were graded as an outstanding Catholic school. Inspectors said the following: all individuals are provided with the opportunity to flourish as a whole person in a way that is rooted firmly in the values of the gospel. The Academy has a strong sense of its own identity and rightly states that it offers education for the whole person. There is a warm and authentic welcome extended to all who visit the Academy. My only wish is that you could visit here and see it for yourself tonight. But despite public health visiting last week and grading our protocols and risk assessments as outstanding, unfortunately, visitors to schools will be inhibited for some time. And therefore, we have produced our own promotional video to provide a flavour of what and who we really are. Please enjoy. St. Aidan's Catholic Academy has a rich history of success, serving the boys of Sunderland since 1948 to ensure they are provided a richness of experience that enables each individual child to fully develop their God-given talents. As a Catholic school, we provide a nurturing, caring and loving environment where spirituality, Catholic ethos and faith permeate everything that we do. We are proud to worship and follow the teachings of Christ. At St. Aidan's, you will witness our underpinning Catholic ethos in all that you experience. The way we talk to one another, the way we support and trust each other, and the way we are driven to succeed in our mission. St. Aidan's promotes a dedication to excellence which empowers our students to excel and achieve whilst expanding their horizons in a nurturing environment. Our commitment to high quality teaching, focus on mastery of knowledge, and partnerships with parents in the local community provide a richness of experience that ensures each child can truly celebrate life to the full. Our values-driven policies, clear vision and consistent routines demand and nurture a strong sense of moral purpose, personal responsibility, integrity, honesty and respect for others, enabling each of our young men to reach the top of their mountain, fulfilling their potential and having a choice of university or a high-quality career.
Our core values in school are hard work, trust and fairness. We're all going up our own mountain and we all need to climb fairly. If anyone needs help, we would help them up.
I've took advantage of football and rugby, make new friends that you might not have had a connection with in class.
We've achieved the Platinum Charter Mark for anti-bullying, which I helped secure by talking to governors.
St Aidan stands above the rest, offering a safe place for boys to take chances, express their emotions, and without the impact of gender stereotyping of a co-educational establishment, discover and thrive in subjects such as the arts and classic literature. St Aidan's, where excellence is a habit. At St Aidan's, we recognise that every young person's journey into adulthood is a journey of faith, one that recognises that true justice, peace and human freedom require first and foremost respect for the dignity of human life. We fulfil the call to be examples of living out the gospel values found rooted in the Beatitudes, and we aim to enable students to do the same. We unpack and nurture an understanding of these values, supporting students to relate to them in their lives both at school, at home and in society. Our aim is to support students to develop their gifts and talents, spiritual and social, intellectual and emotional, aesthetic and physical, whilst fostering intellectual curiosity and academic achievement, ultimately motivating our students to grow to their full potential. You will notice the image of the mountain throughout this presentation and the one behind me. Every day we believe we all face our own Everest, a challenge that we find difficult, something that is not easy to overcome. And at times like this, it can be easy to give up or simply look for an easier path. At our school, we constantly challenge students to take on the mountain, whilst always remembering that the top of one mountain is simply the bottom of another. We don't just talk the talk at St Aidan's, we walk the walk and live by this culture. To support your son in successfully overcoming the mountain and meeting the daily challenges of life, our three core values of hard work, fairness and trust permeate all that we do. From the moment someone joins our community, we ask them to live these values, both staff and students. Hard work speaks for itself. We ask that you never give up, you remain positive, and that you have the strength to persevere, even with the hardest work, even when the path becomes difficult. We do whatever it takes for as long as we can. We trust each other and we are honest. We do what we say and we will do we do what we say and we do not make excuses. We are loyal and have the courage to do the right thing. And our third core value of fairness means that we play by the rules. We are respectful, polite and courteous at all times. We don't take advantage of others, and helping a member of our community is helping ourselves. We truly believe that every child is capable of excellence, and we encourage every individual to work hard, fulfill their potential to pursue the next steps in life, whether that be a choice of university or a high quality career. Excellence, however, does not happen by accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, planning, setting goals, and then setting out to achieve them. Excellence is not being the best, but simply doing the best that you possibly can. And therefore we ask every child to utilize their God-given talents and be the best version of themselves at all times. As a parent, you may be wondering, well, what about academic achievement? And you'd be right to do so. Our students' performance at GCSE is consistently outstanding, with amongst the highest achievements, not just in Sunderland, but in the northeast of England. A significantly high proportion of our students attain the strong Pass 5+ in English and Maths. This remarkable performance of our students means that St Aidan's consistently records the highest results of any school in Sunderland and in Washington. For 2 years now, we have been in the top 10 schools for attainment in the Northeast, and the top in Sunderland and Washington for almost 3 years. This includes all private education. As a parent, I would encourage you to validate this information at compareschools.gov.uk, and the link to this can be found on our website. The destination list of our leavers is particularly impressive, with students moving to a range of universities from local ones such as Durham and Newcastle to ones further afield like Cambridge and Oxford. Just this year alone, 2 students are off to study medicine at Cambridge University. Our sixth form is housed across our beautiful St Anthony's and St Aidan's campus, with the curriculum offering a wide and diverse range of facilitating subjects to allow students to specialise in their preferred field. Student performances at A-level are outstanding, with the majority of students achieving grades A star to B and gaining their first choice of Russell Group universities. I tell you this because I believe every child's journey with us is one of 7 years and not 5. It is imperative that children know what and where the top of the mountain is if they are fully to understand their potential. As head teacher, my promise to you is that St Aidan's Catholic Academy will always offer a safe place for boys to take chances, express their emotions, and discover and thrive in all subjects. Staff are committed to ensuring you and your families feel loved, comfortable, secure, and welcome as part of our school community. As a father of 4 boys, I fully understand the difficulty and worry you now face in choosing the right school for your child. And that is why I say with great sincerity that if you truly want your son to excel, then St Aidan's is the place to be. Thank you. I'm now going to hand back to Mrs. Hogg for the next section. Thanks, Mrs. Hogg.
Thank you, Mr. Sanderson. I would like to introduce our head boys who are going to speak to you just to give you their perception of St Aidan's. It's sometimes really good to hear from them. Can I pass you over, please, over to the boys?
Diane, I believe it's you first.
St Aidan is fantastic, a school full of nice teachers and talented people who all buy into and appreciate and follow our core values of hard work, trust and fairness. I've grown as a person since arriving here 3 years ago, and I know you and your son will be impressed by what you see tonight. What I like the most about St Aidan's is the unquestioned drive towards excellence. I believe that I will leave here with excellent qualifications, but also as an excellent young man, ready to do my bit to make society a better place for everyone. The young men we become is built around a very safe environment and high standards. We have many groups that help us with this, from the anti-bullying team through to our one-voice school council. Our Catholic ethos is strong, and the opportunities for collective worship are varied and interesting. PE is a great element of our school, and I love getting involved in all the extracurricular clubs that I can run through our enrichment program. I love our school, and I hope that I've given you a flavour of what it is like to be a St Aidan's boy. I'll now pass on to Kian to give you his perspective.
Thanks, Diane.
Good evening. Our school is an outstanding place to learn. We have a strong sense of our own identity, and you really do offer an education for the whole person. This was evidenced in our diocesan report, but is also clear by the variety of option subjects we offer, which we can study, which will ensure that we are given the best possible opportunities going forward in a university, a high-level apprenticeship, or a challenging and fulfilling career. From my experience, I can hand on heart say St Aidan's is the best school in Sunderland and Washington. This is not only because of the exam success which we have enjoyed in recent years, but also the excellent pastoral care and support we receive from the moment we step through the door on Year 6 transition. I particularly like the wide range of enrichment activities we can involve ourselves with here at St Aidan's. We have a thriving music offer which allows boys to take up a variety of musical instruments to develop his creative side and add extra selling points where he can stand against his peers in later years. I'm also excited that I can continue my educational journey by staying in our all-through school until Year 13, rather than having to look elsewhere. The cohort in the sixth form currently is one of the largest ever, and the buzz around the Briery is brilliant to see, and I can't wait to join my peers there next year. I hope you will agree with me that St Aidan's is an exceptional school, which I'm very proud to be a part of. Our sense of community is second to none, and I look forward to welcoming your son into that community next academic year. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Kian.
Thank you, boys. You really are a credit to St Aidan's and your own families. I'm Mrs Hogg, and I would like to just spend a little short amount of time talking you through our pastoral care system and the transition to secondary school. We have a very strong and experienced pastoral team who are relentless in their approach to support pupils through transition and beyond. On joining St Aidan's, your son will be allocated a form tutor who will remain with them from year 7 to 11. He will also be part of a house, a bit like Harry Potter. Together with his form tutor and his head of house, we will look after your son's individual needs. The pastoral team are highly trained to deal with all scenarios, whether it's trouble with friendships, mental health, bereavement, anxiety, and we also hold a platinum award for anti-bullying. We work closely with external agencies to provide one-to-one support for anything that we cannot provide in-house, including counselling, risk and resilience, and the school nursing team. All heads of houses are also leads on safeguarding, which is at the heart of everything that we do. Our Special Educational Needs Department work closely with the pastoral team to ensure a smooth transition for any pupils with additional needs, ensuring the appropriate support is in place. If any of you would like any further conversation around SEN support, please drop me an email after tonight and we will get in touch. My email address will be on the final slide. Our transition programme starts just after Easter. I will visit your son in his primary school to introduce him to St Aidan's. We hold an open evening in June for you and your son to come along to, and at the end of June, he will spend a full 3 days with us. We have close relationships with Year 6 teachers who will provide a detailed overview of pupils coming to us, which helps us plan for their arrival in September. As a mum of 2 boys myself, I know how worrying the move to secondary school is, and I assure you the pastoral team will do everything we possibly can to support you and your son through it. Again, any further questions that you've got about anything I've said tonight, please do get in touch. I would like you to watch a short video now created by a group of pupils during lockdown to see what they say about St Aidan's. I will then pass you on to Mrs Witten, our head of RE, and Mishka Panska, our school chaplain. Thank you.
For me, the best part about St Aidan's is the sport. This is because there is a huge variety of clubs and sports available. The footy team is great.
Honestly, there's nothing to be afraid of. As soon as I got into my first couple of lessons, it wasn't too bad, absolutely fine.
What I like most about St Aidan's is probably the range of opportunities that are available. So I got to go back to my primary school and deliver a lesson. I enjoy the great range of enrichment activities, so there really is something there for everyone, and I'm doing activities that I never even thought I could do.
I feel that I have developed since joining St Aidan's as I've grown more confident and I speak up more, whereas in primary school I was quite reserved.
say something to someone who is feeling nervous about joining St Aidan's, I would say it's normal to feel that way because everyone is in the same position as you and it's a whole new experience for you. And there's always people you can go to if you feel worried or have any problems, such as your form tutor and head of house.
It's literally just primary school, but a bit bigger, that's it. Honestly, you've just got to move class a bit, that's it.
My first few days with St Aidan's were great. The first day is obviously nerve-wracking, you know, nobody there, everyone's a stranger to you, but the second and third day, it's just great. You know everybody there, you know what school they went to as well. It's crazy how, like, the first day everyone is a stranger to you, and the second day you know almost everything about them. But my experience of St Aidan's since is great.
You should expect to get more independent and get harder work. And also, you should expect to grow as a person, like I have, and just to learn loads of new life skills and things that you will need in future.
You should expect to be encouraged to work hard and work independently and follow the rules, but the support is also there from tutors, heads of houses, heads of years and other pupils too.
You can trust your friends, you can trust the teachers. Everybody knows everyone, and it's great. All your lessons are great. There's nothing you can really fault about it.
One word that sums it up, I think, would be great.
I would have to say it's rewarding.
If I had to sum it up in one word, it would be amazing.
The one thing that I think wraps up our school is perfect.
If I was to sum up St Aidan's, I would say it's a fun place to learn, although you need to work hard.
I would say it would be a journey.
If I had to sum up life of St Aidan's in one word, I would say brilliant.
Hello everybody, my name is Kasia Szczepańska and I'm the St Aidan's School Chaplain. This job chose me and I thank the Holy Spirit for it every single day. I love the gospel values, for example serving our school and the local community. I enjoy being here for our young people, supporting them, helping them, guiding them to be kind and caring towards each other. I believe our faith brings the best in us. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Mrs. Whitten and I support the Catholic life of our school with Ms. Szczepanska. As mentioned by Mr. Sanderson, we believe that our Catholic faith is central to all that we do in our community, and we believe that our faith influences our actions. I think our young men tonight have really demonstrated that. We begin each day with exam and prayer, making time for God in our lives and allowing ourselves to reflect on our own actions. Our young people take ownership for their faith in our academy. They set up their own masses, they read at mass, they write and deliver their own liturgies, and they celebrate their faith. We have many opportunities in our academy for young people to allow their faith to influence their actions. In collaboration with our wider community, some of our feeder primary schools, we run our own food bank. We feed the most vulnerable members of our own community, and our students do all of that themselves. Towards Christmas, we have time to support our local community through the young people welcoming the elderly into our community for afternoon tea. And we also produce hampers for Sunderland Connect Network, who can signpost to the most in need in our area. We also support our wider community through Macmillan Coffee Mornings and Big Night In. And we work with the Samaritan's Purse to organise Christmas shoebox appeals across the world. And we focus on CAFOD at certain points in our liturgical calendar. As our young people grow older, those opportunities to live out their faith continue to grow. And with many of our sixth formers, they complete the Pope John Paul Award, devoting many hours to voluntary work in the community. I'm going to pass you on to Mr. Herbertson now to talk a little bit about life beyond the classroom.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Whitten, that was great. As you can see already, St Aidan's really prepares our students for the next stages in their life. It really prepares them for that journey, as one student had mentioned earlier on. I think it's a lot to do with the exciting curriculum, the quality teaching that you'll see in the classrooms around the school, and also what the students have all talked about tonight, that wide range of experiences. And they all together fuse together to play a vital role in the formation of your son. Our students go on to be individually successful in a wide range of areas, but for me, and I've been teaching here for quite a while, for really to encapsulate what makes us an Aidan student and what lies at the heart. It's not just the examination success, it's more than that. It's the sense of drive that the students have, and you can see that in the videos tonight. It's their sense of determination, it's their fairness, it's their willingness to pitch in, and it's the overwhelming sense of humanity and generosity that our boys have. And we witness that every day, and we're privileged as teachers to witness that every day. You can see two students up in the pictures here. Their names are Kevin and Aidan, and they're both ex-students. They're both now medics. To be honest, we could have used any number of pictures up here tonight. We just chose these two boys, but you can see from the earlier videos, you know, we've got a richness of students we could have picked from. Both students here embarked on a gap year before they went to university, and then they took up the role of chaplains in the school as well, which was phenomenal. We're confident that if your son picks St Aidan's, he too, like Aidan that you can see here, and like Kevin that you can see here, and like Nyan and Kian that you saw in the videos earlier, that your son will similarly experience a really happy journey and a really happy time in our school. I'm going to pass you on to Mr. Stevenson tonight. A lot of the students have talked about enrichment, and he's going to talk to you a little bit more about that and tell you what we have on offer. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Herberton. Yeah, so as the students have mentioned in the videos, and as you can see by the timetable shown on the screen at the moment, we offer a wide range of before and after school activities that allow our pupils the ability to explore their interests and develop their God-given talents outside of the classroom. The range of activities that we do offer is ever evolving. What we try and do is we survey the students at the end of each cycle, get their feedback on what they've enjoyed through that cycle and what clubs or activities they'd actually like to see there in the future. And we try and implement them. So for example, fishing and skiing that we offer now were student feedback. In addition to this, the Year 7 and 8 students are involved in our Climb programme. The Climb programme offers students lots of opportunities to make positive contributions to the wider community. So for example, each year we team up with Friends of Backhouse Park. It's a charitable group that organises events within the park. And so far, what we've helped them do is we've helped them with tree planting, litter picking, path clearing to ensure the park remains safe and welcoming for all. Combined with this, the students are involved with the Mayor's Award in Year 7 and 8. And they'll complete challenges to achieve either bronze, silver or gold in the Mayor's Award. And this sets them up perfectly for the opportunity to take on the Duke of Edinburgh from Year 9 onwards, which again, they can go through bronze, silver and gold in our Duke of Edinburgh programme. I'd like to now pass you back to Mr. Sanderson, who's going to take some questions.
Thanks, Mr. Stevenson. Before we go to the chat questions, just a few frequently asked questions that parents tend to ask on open evening. The first one is, do you have to be Catholic to attend St Aidan's school? The answer to that is no. You know, we believe the culture and ethos that drives us as a school permeates values that are fit for all people. Okay, so all are welcome at St Aidan's. You certainly don't have to be Catholic or a practicing Catholic to come to St Aidan's. If we apply, will we get a place? If you put us down as first choice, you will be guaranteed a place. That's my guarantee to you, that anybody who puts us down as first choice will be guaranteed a place at St Aidan's Catholic Academy. Are there opportunities for collaboration with the girls of St Anthony's? Mr. Stansfield, do you want to take that one?
I can do, yes. First thing to mention is that there are strong connections between St Anthony's and St Aidan's dating back many, many years. The joint sixth form is fully mixed. All of the courses, it's a vast amount of choice. It's fully co-ed, both boys and girls. As mentioned earlier, we have 3 fabulous venues for the sixth form, which is Gabriel, Summer Leighton and the Briery here at St Aidan's. All of the social areas in each building are fully mixed. But in addition to that, further down the school, there's also connections that are very tightly knit with St Anthony's, school trips, social events, charity events, among some of the things that we do. So yes, there is a very strong tradition of both schools participating in extracurricular activities in the course to sixth form.
Thank you, Mr. Stansfield. Will my son be in a class with his friends? Mrs. Hogg?
Hello, yes, just to clarify for anyone who does have this question, your son will go into a form group with people that he knows from his primary school. We then put classes, teaching classes together based on SATs results. So the boys will be put into classes in relation to their English result and their maths result. So they will be with friends, certainly in their tutor group.
Thanks, Mrs. Hogg. Then how do we communicate with parents? I'm coming back to you for that one as well, Mrs. Hogg.
No problem. We try to over communicate with parents because we like parents to be fully involved in what's happening in the school. We use 3 apps. We use the School Gateway, we use Class Charts, and we have our own school app, and we ask parents to have those downloaded and logged into those. The Gateway allows us to send emails and text messages home, so we're very much on a daily basis sometimes, depending on what is going on in school at the time. So we do like to keep in touch with you, and we do like to build that good relationship, because we honestly feel that contributes to a really successful journey for your son.
Thanks, Mrs. Hogg. Mr. Stansfield, do we have any questions from the chat?
We have a few questions that are all on a similar theme. So the first question asks, how many pupils do we have in each year?
Okay, thanks. That varies across year groups, and I think it varies depending on the number of students in the primary feeders. We like to have around 150 pupils in each year, because we feel at that capacity we can get to know each individual child, we can support each individual child, and certainly by the end of year 7, each of us knows the name of each individual child. And I think that's as high as we like to go, really, because above that, I think you start to struggle to have that individuality and to nurture each individual child as they grow. Any others, Mr. Stansfield?
Yes, another one is again around numbers, and it asks, what's the average class size?
Okay, our average class size again depends on year group, but it's around about 18 to 20. We keep the classes as small as possible. Again, for the reasons I've already described, it's to ensure that every child has the opportunity to succeed.
Okay, I think you've answered this one, which was what's the maximum class size? But a follow-up question is, do we assess the boys on entry, or do we just rely on the SATs?
If it's anything like this year, it depends on what happens. Okay, normally we would look at the SATs, and we work very closely with primary feeder schools. We spend a lot of time working with teachers collaboratively to look at data and background information around students, etc. But when students come into school, we do reading tests and accelerated reader, etc. at the start, because we firmly believe that reading should sit at the heart of learning. So that would be the additional stuff that we do when students join us. We focus around reading, accelerated reader, Lexia, and we actually have a reading program that takes place every day, which we call DEAR. So all students read daily. We have a huge focus around that, because we know it instills habits of excellence, and habits of excellence in terms of learning practice, but also it develops students cognitively. So that's what we do. Any others, Mr. Stansfield?
Yeah, just a couple coming through. It asks, I think around sports clubs. Do you have to be involved in sports clubs and participate?
In terms of sport clubs, we run a huge range of different sports, but we also run a huge range of different clubs which aren't sport related. You know, we run photography, chess club, you name it, we do it. To be honest, we meet with the students when they first come in. We have a student voice called One Voice. We survey the students and they tell us what they want. We work with the students to produce a program that is fit for purpose, that students actually want and want to participate in. So it's largely guided by the students and what they want, but we run a huge range of different clubs, not just sporting ones.
You don't have to, basically.
Okay. There's a follow-up question around the SATs, which is what do we have in place for boys who enter the school who haven't had SATs tests and haven't got that prior assessment?
So an example would be this year, for instance, there were no SATs exams and didn't have that prior assessment. We start with the reading ability tests, so the accelerated reader and Lexa, which I've already mentioned, but also then we look at cognitive ability tests. So we would look at the at assessing each student's cognitive ability to make sure that we can put the right support, the right pathway in place for each individual child.
And a final question is around the school trips, and there's a question about what school trips are available.
Okay, we run a huge range of varying school trips. We have a staggered approach where, you know, in year 7 we take every student up their first mountain, because that's what drives our school at the core. The idea that each person is on a journey, and I've already said earlier that journey is a one of faith. Well, that journey is also up a mountain, and that each day we face our own mountains, so we take them up there to the lakes in the first year. That gets increasingly bigger as we go through. Okay, so that will continue as we pass through. But we also have many trips. So, for instance, Borneo, China. Come on, Mrs. Hogg, help me out with all the destinations we go to.
Spain, we've been skiing. Basically, again, it's led by the students. If they come up with ideas of things that they would like to do, and we can link that with the curriculum and our core values, more than willing to put that on.
So, as Mrs. Hogg was saying there, a wide range. We've now been to China a few times. We go to Spain and France every year. We do in-house UK trips as well, London, Harry Potter. We do all of those various trips. And where we can, we collaborate with St. Anthony's and the girls join us. Any other questions, Mr. Sanchez?
Yeah, there's a couple of questions around funding in terms of what we do with Pupil Premium Plus funding.
The Pupil Premium Plus funding is for the pupil. Okay, so it's to provide the right support, the right resource for that pupil to reach their full potential.
And a final question in the chat is, what level of homework is set each week?
Okay, we do various pieces of homework. We are a great believer in what we call retrieval practice, which we know develops the cognitive ability of children and enables them to access material at a higher level. Okay, so we do what we call 100% piece of homework each day, which is the key facts, those key pieces of core knowledge that students cannot forget, the bits that open the doors to them later on in life. We do that daily, and then within subjects set their own homework, but we have a timetable around that to ensure there's no overload. So yeah, 7 at the minute. You know, as in a new environment, it's always difficult for new students as they come into a new school to get to learn the new practices, etc. So at the minute with year 7, we've collapsed all the homework until we spend some time with them this half term, working with the students, both as a group and one-to-one, to ensure they know how to complete homework, what that homework looks like, and the standards expected, etc. We have very high expectations of the students. I make no apologies for that, because we believe every child is capable of excellence. No matter of background, no matter of SATs results, no matter where they come from or what they've done previously, we firmly believe that every child is capable of excellence. You know, it took me 3 times to pass my driving test. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't be driving. It just takes some people a little bit longer than others. Any other questions, Mr. Stansfield?
There is, Mr. Sanderson, I think you've just touched on it in fairness, which is a question about what do you think the barriers that some boys might have to aspiration when they're being educated?
Yes, it's a very good question, that. Aspiration, you know, as Miss Whitten explained before, we spend a lot of time as students come into St. Aidan's as part of the transition program as well, looking at those aspirations and the aspirations that we have for your child. We work with parents and students and the local community to show students the top of the mountain. So for instance, in the first week in September, we take all of our year 7 students to a university. That's the first trip that they do. They get to talk to university students and look at the top of one of the mountains that we want them to reach. So we work very hard with the students to raise those aspirations, to provide the right support, to ensure they are on the right path, and they have the right tools to reach the top of that mountain. You know, I can't say enough. We believe every child can reach the top of that mountain. You know, and we have high expectations of that. Any others, Mr. Sanderson?
There are no further questions, Mr. Sanderson.
Could I just give one last opportunity for parents to ask any questions that they have? Don't be shy, you know, there's no silly questions. We're here to answer them tonight. Just wait a couple of minutes, a minute or so.
So there's a question just come in around the school day times. What are the times of the day for the school running?
Okay, at the minute, it's slightly different to what we normally do. But our school day normally starts at 8:20 and finishes at 3:10. So we finish quite early compared to other schools. At the minute, that varies because we have a staggered start and a staggered end due to the COVID policies and protocols that we have in place. But normally, hopefully, when we get back to some form of normality in the near future, we can revert back to our normal school day. And that the reason we finish early, if I'm totally honest, actually it's 10 to 3, isn't it? I've got the time wrong. It's 10 to 3, sorry, apologies. We finish so early because we believe that children should have access to a wide range of enrichment activities after that time. So we finish quite early to enable that.
Okay, and how can we access this recording at a later date?
We can send that link out. Okay, we'll put it on our website as well. So I'll speak to Mrs. Hogg after this and find out the best way to do it. We'll put it on our social media, which you can see along the bottom of the screen there. So it'll be on our Twitter and via Instagram, and it'll be on our website as well.
And the question around the Breakfast Club, what time is Breakfast Club from?
Mrs. Hogg, did you just want to add something before I answer that question?
Just if anyone wanted to access anything else tonight, some of the videos that we've played, they are on our website. If you go to parent information and year 5 and 6 virtual open evening, they're all stated there. Our breakfast club starts at 7:45 each morning, and it's a free breakfast for all students. So that sometimes works better for families where parents are on the way to work and they like to drop them off a bit earlier. They can have their breakfast in a safe and warm environment before that day starts.
Thanks, Mrs. Hogg. I was going to say there as well, if obviously you do require any further information, you can email Mrs. Hogg. Our email is on the screen there and we can share that with you. The breakfast is full breakfast as well, so there's a good bit of food, a hot drink, cold drink, whatever they want, really. Okay. Any other questions, Mrs.
That's all the questions for now.
Okay, thank you. If there are no further questions, I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope it's been a useful use of your time and you've gotten the information that you require from us. If you haven't and there's still something that you require to know, please don't hesitate to contact us or contact Mrs. Hogg with the email on screen there. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have. It is a real shame that you couldn't join us on site, but I'm sure, you know, as we move forward, we will start to return to some form of normality. Please stay safe, and I wish you all the best. God bless. Take care now. Bye.
Bye-bye.